Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm back. I know that I said I try to do a video every week after my last video, and life kind of got in the way. I'm sorry about that. I think this is going to continue to happen until I'm able to schedule these videos a little bit better. I am actually recording from a different location in my apartment right now. I'm recording from my couch, and I kind of like it here better. It's more comfortable. It's easier to set up the laptop, because over where I was, I had to set up a table and a chair and all this other stuff. So this is for my coffee table. I'm right on my couch. So I think I might record videos from here from now on. I'm sure you've seen me swinging this thing around. This is my Ultrasaber, my Dark Initiate V3 LE. And what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to do a re-review of this, just to kind of update my old review. And I'll probably keep the old review up, but I also really want to showcase the V4 Obsidian soundboard. I had the V4 soundboard installed on here because my original soundboard that I actually got with this when the soundboard was first released, I got it for an introductory price and all that stuff, it crapped out. And now, I don't know if it was my fault or if it was the fault of the Obsidian launcher, but I popped this into the launcher, I went to update the soundboard, and when I went to turn on the soundboard, nothing happened. It crapped out. So I sent it to Ultrasabers. They put a new one in for me. They gave me the option of putting in the V4 soundboard. So I decided to go with that, and I couldn't be happier with it. So I did kind of want to do a review of that. At first, though, I want to do sort of, like I said, a re-review of this. So this is 9.5 inches long, I believe. Just a little more than that. It's got the black anodized finish, but the silver rings on here. I did add a CoverTech wheel. Actually, I can't remember now if I ordered this from Ultrasabers or the Custom Saber Shop. I think it was Ultrasabers, but I kind of just fastened it on there with an 832 screw. And actually, something that I like about the screw is I can just stick my fingernail in there and unscrew it, and the blade comes right out, so I don't need the hex wrench anymore. So that's a really cool addition that I added that I really like. I mean, it still has the choke points. I still really love this thing. It's still my baby. I do with this the most out of any of my other sabers. And actually, that's part of the reason that I'm doing this, is because I have 5 sabers in my collection now. I just got the 5th one. So I really wanted to sort of review all of my sabers. This is currently my only Ultrasaber. All my others are, I have a Master Replica Vader, which I kind of did a review on way back when, alongside this, and I said I was going to convert it, and I did, and I never did the conversion review, so I think I'll do that next. And then I have 3 other Hasbro sabers. I have a Hasbro Anakin, and then I have a Black Series Luke and Kylo Ren. So I have, you know, a bunch of movie sabers and then my Ultrasaber. And actually, part of the reason I'm doing this is because the 6th one is coming in the mail, an Ultrasaber. So actually a 2nd Ultrasaber, but a 6th lightsaber overall. My friends and I decided to do a bulk order. My friend wanted a couple. We wanted to order one for my buddy for his birthday. And when you order $500 or more, you get a free one. So I'm getting the free one because I really need to feed my addiction. So I'm getting another Ultrasaber. It's just going to be a stunt saber. It's not going to have sound like this guy, but I'm still really excited about it. So this introduction has gone on long enough. I did a brief review of the saber, which I still love. This thing is still really sturdy. It has stood up to a bunch of abuse. I don't know if you can see any of the abuse on it. Yeah, you can see there's some scratches and dings and all that other stuff, but that kind of gives a character. I like that. I don't know if I ever described that the reason that I went with this saber is because I did want a darker saber, but I still wanted it to look like a Jedi weapon instead of a Sith weapon. And I think this does that. I think it's really, like, it's black, but the silver rings make it look more Jedi, and the color, obviously consular green, makes it look more Jedi. So I really like this saber. And for all of the sabers on Ultrasabers, this is still one of my favorite ones. Just the design of it is as simple as it is. It's still one of my favorite designs. Like, if I got one of these as my grab bag, I don't think I would mind. I do want a different saber. I'd prefer a different saber, but I wouldn't, turn my nose up at one of these or its bigger cousin, the Dominic's, just because this is still one of my favorite designs on the entire Ultrasaber website. So I've been going on for 5 minutes. Let's talk about the soundboard. Now, you heard it briefly. This is going to be the Starkiller sound font. I took all the original sound fonts off of this because I wanted to keep some and I wanted to leave some off, but I also needed to format it. So I formatted it and I re-downloaded all the other fonts from the website. So this is going to be the Starkiller. Still really loud. By default, this is one of the quieter sound fonts, and it's still really freaking loud. I actually might want to turn these down eventually. I didn't, because I kind of just wanted to get all the fonts that I wanted on it, hear how they sounded, and then turn them down later. So I'm going to do that soon. But I did want to give you the full showcase of the volume for these things. Still really accurate. The pickup sounds for motion are still little wonky from time to time, but still very accurate. Whoops, didn't mean to turn it off. Want to do a lockup. So that's blaster deflection. That's force lightning. That's the lockup sound. Now, I really don't like the lockup sound. It hurts my ears from Starkiller. So let's turn that off. But it's really cool that you can put 3 on here. The only thing that I don't like is... Okay, so you had the saber lockup, the blaster deflection, so you would expect the force lightning. You would expect for it to cycle. Which actually I got force lightning, so it's going to make a liar out of me. But now you would expect blaster deflection. Still made a liar out of me. There we go. Force lightning again. So it doesn't cycle regularly, which is a little annoying. When you have 2, it does cycle, and I actually have 2 on another font that I actually custom made on here, which I'll showcase. But when you have more than 2, it doesn't cycle through them. It plays them randomly. Never the same one never the same one twice in a row, but still, it'll play, like with the Starkiller, it'll play lightning, then blaster deflection, then back to lightning, then lockup, then blaster deflection, then back to lockup, and it'll do that kind of stuff. It'll sort of play them randomly. So I don't like that. I don't know if there's a way that you can fix that on the program. I'll have to look. But as far as I could tell, it wasn't super obvious if there was. So I'm gonna have to check that. I'm probably gonna post this on the forum and obviously on YouTube. So if anybody has more information on that, please let me know. Comment and you can tell me if there's a way to fix that. So the next sound font that I have, I believe, is going to be episode 1. So in order to get into the menu, you hold down the activation button. You wait a second, and it goes into the menu, and it'll tell you the boot up sound that you currently have. So this is the Starkiller, I promise, but it has the Obsidian boot up sound because it doesn't have its own boot up sound.
Episode 1.
This is episode 1.
Confirmed.
Now I'm going to go through these fairly quickly because I'm not reviewing each. But episode 1 does sound pretty cool. Something that I do like about this is that it's still, as I said, really accurate, and that clash is still really sensitive. As you can see, I'm just moving it sharply and it's doing the clash. You know, I can hit my hand fairly lightly here, and it clashes almost every single time. And actually, one side note that I do want to do is that the color of this on my new camera is a little more accurate. It used to look washed out and a little white balanced, but this is a little closer to the console green that I have. It's still not quite right, and actually, if you look at the light on my arm, that's a little better, but it's still a little more green than that, but this is definitely a lot more accurate than it was on my old camera. So, that's a bright side. No pun intended. Alright, so that's the episode 1. Oh, let me do the lockup real quick for episode 1. Which, I actually kind of like the lockup of this one. Alright, so next is going to be episode 2. Now, for some reason, when I formatted this and re-downloaded all of the fonts, the episode 2 came with a weird... It didn't come with an episode 2 boot up, which was just the voice saying episode 2, like the voice says episode 1 on this. It came with like a weird robot voice saying processing. I don't know why. Again, maybe that's a question somebody could answer for me on the forum. But let's go into that.
Episode 1. Processing.
See, it says processing in an odd sort of mechanical voice. But let's confirm that.
Confirmed.
So I promise this is episode 2. This is one of my favorite fonts. Actually, all of these are my favorite fonts. But I like the hum is slightly lower. I like that it's the motion sounds are a little lower. And I think this is just a mix of sounds from episode 2. I think mostly they took Dooku's, but I think it's just a mix of sounds from episode 2. So, it's a really cool font. It's one of my favorite fonts. So this is the episode 2 sound font. Let's do the lockup real quick. Really unique lockup sound, which I like. Alright, next is going to be a custom sound font that I did. It's mostly a mix of episode 2 and episode 1. The turn on and the hum are episode 2. And the turn off is episode 1, and most of the hums, or most of the motion sounds, are going to be from episode 1, with a few episode 6, episode 4, and episode 2 on it. I believe it's the same for the clash sounds, and the lockup, I believe, is episode 4 or 6, although I can't remember which at the moment. So, let's do that.
Processing.
Force will be with you. Always.
So that's the boot up sound. It's Obi-Wan saying the Force will be with you always. Let's confirm that.
Confirmed.
So as you can hear, it's still the same turn on and hum from episode 2. But quite a few of the hums, or quite a few of the motion hums are different. And that's actually something I really wanted to showcase. We also have flash sounds. So I really like that I was able to basically put my own sound font on this. I didn't do any sound mixing or any of that. I just literally just slapped on activation, hum, deactivation, motion, and clash sounds. That's all I did. And it's pretty fluid. There is, from time to time, moments where you can tell that the motion or clash sound doesn't belong on the episode 2 hum, but it's so seldom and it's almost unnoticeable that it doesn't matter. I do have 2 lockups. This, like I said, I believe is the episode 6 lockup. Because I just really like this lockup. And then I have the Blasting Reflection from Starkiller, from Starkiller, from The Force Unleashed. So what I kind of want to do with this is I want to do like a Clone Wars era Jedi font, maybe even like a Clone Wars Survivor font. So I think I kind of got that with this font. and I think it turned out really well. I'm going to go through the next two pretty quick. The next one is episode 6.
Boss will be episode 6.
Confirmed.
This is basically Luke's saber, with I think maybe some Vader sounds in it, but I think it's going to be mostly Luke's saber. So yeah, that's the same lockup I have in my custom spot. So that's the Luke saber. I did want to go over that one briefly. Now the next one is one of my favorite like original sound fonts that we have, and it's a Ventress, or not original sound fonts. One of the ones from the default file, and it's the Sister of Shadow sound font. I believe it's a Ventress sound font. I really like it because Ventress is one of my favorite characters to come out of almost anything Star Wars, but definitely Clone Wars. I just read Dark Disciple, and I might do a review of that book. It was really good. I'm gonna actually give a brief warning for spoilers that I'm gonna do, because it's kind of hard not to talk about the book without giving a warning for spoilers. So before I even do that review, I do want to give that warning that there are going to be spoilers in that. But let's turn that on. Nope, that's wrong.
Episode Shadows.
So Shadow Sister.
Confirmed.
And actually, something that I really like about this is, first of all, the hum is really low. But if you listen, I don't know how well you can hear it, but it sort of goes in and out, and there's like dips in the sound, and I really like that. I like that it sounds like it's constantly in motion or doing something. I also like how all of the hums and clash sounds are very short and very no-nonsense, kind of like the character herself. And I like the lockup. I like how the turn on and turn off are very no-nonsense. It's just on and then off. There isn't a whole lot of preamble about the turn on and off. So I really like the entire font. I think it's a really cool font, and it's probably my favorite one. The next font, which is kind of a non-font, is my silent font. Now, it originally comes with like a boop noise for silent, but I kept missing that noise, so I'm glad I didn't keep it. Instead, I now have crickets chirping, which I actually found on the Ultrasaber forum. So that's silent. That's really loud and really annoying, but hey, I hear it. So this is silent. Now it's a stunt saber. There's no sound going on at all. You know, there's nothing wrong with the microphone. There's nothing wrong with the speaker. This is specifically a silent sound font. What you do with this is you assign a boot to it, and then you don't put anything else on it, and it works great. This video is running a little long, so I think I'm gonna cut it short pretty soon. But I really like that this is that this has a silent setting now. I like that I can, you know, just have the light on and spin it around. I can hear myself think. If I'm messing around with friends, I can hear them talk. So I really like that I can that I have a silent setting on this now. The entire sound font is great. I really want to give a quick mention of the program for the new soundboard. It works a lot better than the original launcher. The original launcher was fine, but the interface for this is a lot more intuitive, and it's a lot nicer, and it's presented a lot better. It did take a while to get used to it because I was so used to the original launcher, and at first I didn't like it because I had to get used to it because apparently I don't like change. I don't like change, but once I got used to the change, I really did enjoy it, and the launcher is a lot of fun to use, and it's really easy to use. So that's great. The ability to put different sounds on this and create your own custom sound font without a whole lot of issues is awesome. The ability to create a silent feature is also awesome. As I said, there is volume mixing for this, but I haven't really gotten into that yet. Not because I haven't figured it out, just because honestly I was lazy. But it's far and away better than the original soundboard, and the original soundboard was already great. So I definitely suggest, if you're gonna get an upgrade like I did, or even a new soundboard, to get the V4. It's fantastic. It's well worth the extra like $10 or whatever it is for it. And you will not be disappointed. I still love the Saber. It's still my baby. I can't wait to get my new one in the mail. The review for that will be up just as soon as I do get it in the mail. But in the meantime, I'm going to do reviews on all my other Sabers, and they will be shorter than this because I won't be reviewing an entire soundboard. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.